Welcome back to Bangkinan, Sumatra. That's the town where I rode to the other day. It's about 60, 70 kilometers, I forget the distance, from Pekanbaru. I rode my bike here, and I intended to just stay one night and keep cycling, but I'm still being haunted by left knee problems. So I decided to stay for a day and rest, and now I've extended that into a second day, partially because I really like this town. It's a very pleasant place, and I like saying Bangkinan. Well, here's my guest house where I'm staying. Teknong Kost. There's the place. And I managed to get a room on the ground floor, which is very handy because we've had a ton of rain. I don't know if you can see it, but the world out there is just wet looking, and that's because it was raining a lot yesterday and rain during the night. And with my room being right there, I guess I could just roll my bike inside my room and keep it nice and dry and safe, and that's very convenient. They have rooms up there on the second floor, but I asked for one on the ground floor, and they managed to provide one, which is cool. So here is the sign, Teknong Kost. Though on Agoda, they're associated currently with Oyo, and I don't know if it's a special program or whether it's part of the name, but they call themselves Spot On Oyo, and then Teknong Kost or something. Anyway, it's a very complex name. One thing I've noticed just being here in Bangkinan, I didn't really notice it when I was cycling, but once you stop and look around, it feels more green and lush. I mean, if you look in that direction, look at all the greenery. It just feels more lush than the areas that I've cycled through, to get here. What jumped out at me about this town is mainly the space. I find, towns like Dumai, Duri, Candice, Pekanbaru, all these places are quite interesting to hang out in, especially, for a foreigner like me that isn't accustomed to that kind of atmosphere. They're rough around the edges, kind of cramped and crowded. A lot of chaos, a lot of broken down obstacles in your way everywhere you try to go. They're challenging towns just from a physical standpoint. But Bangkinan, as soon as I arrived here, I was like, wow, look at this place. Wide streets. I mean, this is the main street, and take a look at it. Just look how wide it is. And look at the sidewalk I'm walking along. An actual sidewalk, not blocked by hundreds of scooters and other things. And even the gaps aren't here. Look at that. Normally these are open holes that you can fall into, but here in Bangkinan, they're still in place. Look at that. And I did some walking around yesterday. I'm actually heading in that direction in a minute. But look at that street heading down that way. How wide it is. Very gentle, relatively quiet. Yeah, it's just a very pleasant town, has a nice layout. And as I was walking around yesterday, I noticed a much higher number of places where you could sit in relative comfort to have some food or a drink or anything. Yeah, just a lot of interesting places, and even some, what I would call cafes, actual cafes. And that's where I'm going right now. I'm going to a local cafe to have a cup of coffee. I don't think I can get the name right. It's Ziki and Daki Cafe, or Ziki and Daki, or Zyke and Daki. I went there for lunch yesterday, in fact, or actually more like blupper. It was the one meal I had all day, so it was my breakfast, lunch, and supper, but I went there. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. They have some comfortable seating, and I checked their Wi-Fi signal, and the Wi-Fi seemed to be high speed. And that's mainly why I'm going there. I would prefer to be in my room. Hello, how are you? Good? What's that? I'd prefer to be in my room drinking coffee and working on videos and doing whatever it is I need to do. But the bane of my existence, you know, if you stay in cheaper hotels, low budget places, you don't get Wi-Fi. At least the Wi-Fi doesn't reach your room. And I'll talk about that more in a minute, my Wi-Fi adventures. So I'm going to the coffee shop to pay for a coffee, but what I'm really paying for is access to their Wi-Fi, and I hope that works out. But on my way, I passed by the local mosque, and when I saw this place when I arrived, and it was very impressive for such a small town. I don't know the name of it, if it has a special name, and I don't know anything about the history, but it seems to be a bit of an Islamic study center as well. They have some large buildings attached to it, this one over here, and then when you look on Google Maps, they describe this place as some kind of an Islamic study center. But I'm not going to try to go into the mosque or anything like that. But I thought since I was passing by, I thought I'd show you what it looked like. Very interesting place. Surprisingly large, as I said, for a town the size of a Bangkinan. So let's see, this is perhaps the name of it. Markaz Islami Kabupaten Kampar. Perhaps that says Islamic Study Center. I don't know. But yeah, there's the mosque. This cafe, Ziki and Daki Cafe, is about 1 kilometer away down this street that I pointed out. And I think you'll agree with me if you've seen any of my video from Pekanbaru or Dumai or any of these places. This town has a distinctly, very different feeling to it. As I said, more spacious streets, and even turning down this street, I don't feel like my life is in danger at every corner. Yeah, just look at this. And there seems to be a lot more like local tourism, which I think is what's driving this town to be different. I think they get a lot of local tourism, kind of going from Pekanbaru up to Bukittinggi, Padang, and back again, and feels quite a bit cooler. I don't think we've climbed very high in altitude, if at all, and yet to me it feels much, much cooler than where I've been so far. But yeah, it's a very pleasant town overall. So yeah, Wi-Fi adventures. Hey, the thing is, if you're uploading videos to YouTube, you need a lot of data. The videos, for whatever reason, I don't know whether I'm doing something wrong, but my videos file sizes have always been massive. So you pretty much have to have Wi-Fi to do it. You have to have fast Wi-Fi. I keep getting caught because I often use my phone as a hotspot, because for whatever reason my laptop has difficulty connecting to Wi-Fi signals anyway. So even if there is good Wi-Fi, I have to connect with my phone, and then I have to connect the laptop to my phone on a hotspot in order to connect it to the Wi-Fi. It's just how my laptop works. But the problem is, if you're not careful, I mean, I have to buy data for my phone, you know, just to use Google Maps and things like that. So you buy a data package you think is going to last you the whole month. You go crazy and you buy the 15 or 30 gigabyte package thinking that's more than enough. But then without realizing it, you've got, you know, 2 videos uploading to YouTube on your laptop. You sort of started them 5 days ago and they're still uploading because it takes that long with local Wi-Fi. And then you connect your phone to the laptop and suddenly everything switches over to your mobile data, and then you're just sitting there typing an email or something, thinking you have all the time in the world, and then you get beep, 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 beep. You have no more data on your phone because the uploading of the video sucked all the mobile data you had, and it's all gone. So you have to be careful that way. You buy all this mobile data intending to use it just for Google Maps or something, sending emails, and then suddenly your entire bank account of mobile data gets drained. You didn't realize that you were hooked up to your laptop. Anyway, this guest house does not have Wi-Fi that reaches my room, so I've been struggling with that. And just for fun, I thought I would go to Ziki and Daki, or whatever this place is called. This is a busy intersection for Bangkinan, but it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. So this is rush hour in this lovely town. I rarely do this, by the way. You'd think it would make a lot of sense just to hang out in coffee shops when you need to do things on your computer and use their Wi-Fi, but I don't know, it makes me laugh too, because you see so many advertisements where people are doing this in the big city. You see them, they're sort of, whatever product they're advertising, they're showing a life of ease and luxury. Someone's sitting at a fancy coffee shop with their slim laptop in front of them, a mobile, digital professional of the modern world. Hello. Selamat pagi. Okay. I think she wants me to have breakfast here. Like this is like one of the restaurants I was talking about. There's so many of them. This is a breakfast place. Sarapan pagi. From Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Okay. Nice to meet you. And here's another place right beside it. And as you walk around Bangkinan, you just see so many places like this. I'm always talking about how I have trouble finding seating, but here in Bangkinan, they've cornered the market. Look at all that seating there. All these places are like that. There's a whole bunch of them. They're just everywhere. Anyway, in these advertisements, they make it look so easy. Some guy in a three-piece suit, sitting, sipping on his latte, typing away on his laptop. And I think, wow, that's the life. Man, look at that. That looks so amazing. And they make it look so easy. But this morning, I'm in my room thinking, yeah, maybe I'll pack up my computer and head to Ziki and Daki for coffee, use their Wi-Fi. And then I start thinking about everything I need to bring with me. Oh my goodness, there's my bag on the back of on my back. This thing must weigh 40 pounds. It's like, I don't know how those guys in these commercials get away with looking so fresh. And when they get up to leave, they basically pick up their notebook computer and slip it into a little sleeve, and then they sail out the door as if that's all they needed. But man, I mean, the battery on my laptop doesn't last, so I have to plug it into the wall. So I have to bring the adapter and the cable. And of course, the adapter doesn't plug into anything here in the real world in Indonesia, so I have to bring all of my adapters and plugs and cables. I never know what it is I'm going to need, so I have to bring everything. And of course, I'm working on videos for YouTube, so I need all my other gear as well. I need all my cables and adapters and flash drives and portable hard drives where all the original files are stored. And I thought I would shoot a bit of video like this, a rambling video as I walk to Ziki and Daki and show you what the place looks like. So I need all the extra batteries and memory cards and everything else, mounting options. So by the time I was done packing up for my casual, relaxing morning coffee, I was exhausted. I was ready to go back to sleep. But here I am. A bit more of a Bangkinan, and what makes it special, look at this. They even have actual grates over top of these holes. And everywhere I've been, I see people busy sweeping up everything. Like here, you know, all the leaves and garbage has all been swept up around this garbage area. And look at this road, wide, lots of space. And I was quite impressed with this place on my right when I came down here yesterday. It's a children's park, and look at that, an actual bench. Planet Doug approved. I love benches. I'm always looking for a bench and I can never find one. Look at this, 2 benches. And look at this park. Spacious, green, lots of lawn to run around. There's nobody here now that I can see, but yesterday was filled with children. SpongeBob here, you know, something you can climb around. A slide. Swings. Everything is in relatively good condition. You got a dinosaur slide over there. Monkey bars. Look at this. Airplane. All the kids, most of the kids I saw yesterday were clustered around the airplane. This seems to be a popular item in the park. And teeter-totters. These, I assume they spin, yeah. Spinning things. I mean, look at this place. There's even a kind of a racetrack over there. Maybe that's designed for bicycles. They can ride their bikes around that and pretend they're driving a car. There's like street signs and railroad crossings. I hear, all around me, I hear sweeping and raking as everybody's cleaning up the city first thing in the morning. Bangkinan, who knew? Kind of a nice place to discover by accident. I'm still walking around the edges of the park. Check out this part of the playground. A winged dragon slide. And little details. There's a school across the way. A bunch of boys playing soccer. And I noticed that all along the street here, they've put up a net. You probably can't see it in the GoPro, but if you go look up about, I don't know, 20 feet, 15, 20 feet, there are these poles, and then there's a big net strung all along the side of the road, because if the boys, you know, hit the ball, it'll, instead of going out onto the street, it hits the net. Don't know why I'm so impressed with that, but it just shows sort of an attention to detail, you know? That whole field is flooded. Those boys are getting soaking wet. Let's capture a little bit of that game on video. I was gonna say, too many motorcycles for me to make it across, but if I wait for a second. Let's capture a bit of the future Messis and World Cup champions of the world. It's funny. Every footstep, you can see the water splash up. How in the world do they know who is on whose team? Everyone kind of has the same color, like blue clothing, blue shirt, black pants. These kids are pretty good. There's a lot of passing going on, which surprises me. They're giving the ball and running and taking it back, rather than one guy running with the ball. Look at that. The ball even comes to a stop when it hits these puddles. He flubbed on the final shot there. And the girls are playing some kind of a kicking ball game over there. It's not soccer, but it's more like a special type of game. If I remember right, this is the corner. I turn right to go to Zaki and Dicky. I had another random thought this morning that in terms of my bike ride, so far hasn't really been much of a bike ride in terms of distance covered. But I have been riding a bike occasionally, a day here and a day there, to finally get to Bangkinan. And a theme of the bike ride might be the danger, of course, because the roads have been quite heavily trafficked with large trucks and there isn't a lot of room. So you could say it's kind of dangerous to be riding a bike on the highway to get here. So you might think, wow, it's such a dangerous thing to be riding your bicycle in Sumatra. And that may be true, but in my personal experience so far, the most dangerous things have been the rooms. And I was thinking about that this morning because my room here at this guest house has a tile floor, and it's a very small room, and I moved all my gear inside, like even my bike, and when I arrived here, I was in pretty rough shape and really tired, so I didn't unpack and organize as carefully as I normally would. So the room has, like, all my stuff is just scattered everywhere. And then the bathroom itself really has no well, it has nothing. You know, it's a squat toilet and a tap. There's nothing else in there, so it's hard to get organized in there as well. You got to put all your toiletries on the floor. Everything's soaking wet, everything's slippery. And then I'm going in and out of the bathroom because I'm trying to get organized. And what I didn't realize this morning is that when I did that, I was leaving a trail of wet footprints everywhere. So of course, after I was done showering, shampooing my hair and shaving, again, I was thinking of coming here and I'm sort of grabbing things, getting organized. And I had a random thought, oh, I need to bring that. So I stepped out of the bathroom and of course, my wet foot hit the wet tiled floor and shoo, slid out from under me, and my gosh. Yeah, I caught myself. I caught myself on everything I could grab, you know, the wall, the door jamb, the door. But man, I could have gone down, and I would have gone down hard. And that happens over and over again. You kind of get distracted, and just slipping on the wet floor has been more of a risk to me on this trip, it feels like, than anything to do with riding the bike. But man, that one this morning, that was like life flashing before my eyes sort of experience. One slip like that and whatever. Broken legs, concussions, twisted ankles, you know, who knows? You come down hard on a slip like that, you can do a lot of damage. Anyway, random thought for this morning. Yeah, just being in one of these rooms can be dangerous. And I've arrived. Here it is. Premium coffee, Zaki and Dicky Cafe. There's the name. Quite a well-known place. I think it's known as the sort of most premium, kind of fanciest place you can go for a breakfast here in town. Zaki and Dicky seems to be popular. When I was here yesterday, it was listed on Google Maps as, you know, not as busy as usual, and yet it was quite full of people. There were a lot of people here. So I'm gonna go inside and try and find a table with an electrical outlet. Zaki. Oh, okay, it looks like they have some standard breakfast fixings to go out here. And then here's the inside. And actually, I had the idea to come here because when I was here yesterday, I saw a man sitting in that table over there with a laptop. And then there seems to be an electrical outlet. So I'm gonna get organized over there. But there's the service area. No air conditioning, but they got these fans blowing, which I really appreciate. And I think I'm going to take this table right here. Electrical outlet. Look at that. Coffee time and computer time. I seem to be all set up. This has been quite a bit easier than I expected. There are always so many issues. I mean, you have to plug in your laptop, of course, or at least I do, because the battery doesn't have life left in it anymore. And with this is a MacBook Pro, and one way they make laptops lighter and lighter is to move more and more components into the power adapter, right? So that power adapter is a real brick, and half the time it's too heavy to plug into the wall. Like if the outlet is high up on the wall, you plug in that adapter, the thing is going to come loose and the thing smashes to the ground. It's really hard. You have to find all kinds of ways to brace it and things like that, but it seems to be holding here okay. And yeah. What else? Yeah, the password is always an interesting thing. This happens to me all the time when I check into hotels, where I forget all the time to get the Wi-Fi password. I check in, I unpack, I've taken off all my clothes, I'm all settled in my room, and then I think, oh, I forgot to get the Wi-Fi password, and I've got to get dressed again, go back outside, go find someone, find out the password. And what they always want to do is they'll take your phone from you and then enter the password on your phone. That's sort of the instinct. You show them the phone as sort of a guide, like, oh, I need the Wi-Fi password, and I use that as a way to communicate. I show them the Wi-Fi check-in. It's like, oh, it needs a password? Can you tell me what the password is? And then before I realize it, they've taken the phone and then they've typed in the password, and now I have my phone connected, but I still don't know what the password is. Like, can you even find it on your phone? I've never been able to track it down. So now I'm like, okay, my phone is connected to Wi-Fi, but I need the password. I need to know what it is because I need to plug in my laptop. I need to plug in my tablet, my other phone, right? So I need them to write the password down for me, but they instinctively take the phone and enter it for me. And then if I don't look fast enough, it's gone. And like, oh, now I don't even know what it is. But that was going to happen here, but then I kind of stopped her, and then I opened up like a notepad on my phone and said, can you just type in the password? And that worked out. And I'm so ridiculous. I have so many issues with things. I like things to work in a certain way, I guess. And of course, what I like to do is get settled in, have everything set up, be nice and relaxed, and then order my coffee. But of course here they want to give me really good service. So right out of the gate, before I'd even sat down, they brought the menu and the waitress is standing there, the server, and she's like, okay, so what do you want? What would you like? What can I get you? And she's pointing at all the things, and I'm trying to say, okay, I need a few minutes to settle in. I need to dry off. I'm very sweaty right now. I'm breathing heavy. I'm not enjoying, I want to enjoy this experience, so I need to calm down, cool down, and then get my coffee. But it's almost impossible to do, so I end up ordering the coffee, and it's already here, and I'm not really ready for it yet. But anyway, I ordered a hot cappuccino. No, I ordered a hot latte, and here it is. So there's my hot latte, From what the reviews I read online of this place, it's called a cafe and known as a coffee shop, but people do say that their food is better than their coffee. That, you come here to eat. They can make a good cup of coffee, but it may not be, the best you've ever had. They're actually known for the quality of their food more than the coffee per se, but we'll see. I'll give mine a try and report back. And what I'm hoping to do this morning, actually why I came here, is to see whether videos will upload. I have 2 videos I'm trying to upload, and they've been on my computer for days, and they just won't finish uploading. So I thought maybe they'd have fast Wi-Fi here. And I'm going to check the Wi-Fi speed. That's always very exciting. I never used to do this. I saw YouTubers doing it all over the world. As soon as they check into a hotel, the first thing they do is check the Wi-Fi speed, and I had no idea how they were doing it. I figured there was some sort of a very special app, and I knew nothing about it. But Daryl from Wander Eats, he taught me how to do this. So now I have this speed test app on my phone, and it looks promising. 13 megabytes per second download and 8 for uploading, which is pretty good. Let's see if my uploading is happening. Yeah, you can't really tell on YouTube. One video is 31% uploaded, the other one is 16%. And it could be that the upload on the laptop is really, really slow, because as I said, it really won't connect with Wi-Fi very well. So I might connect it to my phone using a mobile hotspot, and that might, well, just let it sit for a while and see what happens. But my second reason for coming here, just for the newness of the experience, but also because I wanted to chat with some people through the comments, which I really haven't had a chance to do here in Sumatra at all. Just a combination of things. There just isn't time in the day. Like when I was hanging out in Thailand and in Kuala Lumpur, different places, there seemed to be a lot more hours, but now with everything that I've been doing, you know, waking up at 4 in the morning to start cycling, being sick a lot, just a lot of activity. It's hard to carve out the time to chat with people through the comments. And so I've kind of lost track of them. But also just half the time not having Wi-Fi. Like you're trying to do something on the computer and it's all you can do to upload a video. And then, yeah, you just can't connect to do anything else. So I've sort of been neglecting comments to an extent, and I thought I would catch up with a little bit of that. And one of the very first comments I came across, very interesting. This is going way back to the video I posted on the ferry. There's a new comment on that video, and it's from 2 YouTubers. And I didn't see the comment until this morning, but here's their website or their YouTube channel. And it's called Exploring Sumatra with Agung and Carly. And I've only watched one video so far, but I guess Carly is from New Zealand and Agung is from Indonesia himself, and I think they met on one of the Gili Islands. The 2 of them, they became a couple, and now they moved from the Gili Islands to Sumatra, kind of maybe Medan, Lake Toba area, and all their videos are from that region, and I know that region a little bit, so I'm looking forward to watching some of their videos. Anyway, time to try some of this latte and chat with some people through the comments. I guess I'm not being completely fair to my latte because I didn't try it as soon as it came to the table, so it might have cooled down a little bit already by now, but let's give the latte a try first. Yeah, well, nothing terrible about that coffee, but it's not something I would go out of my way. I wouldn't go out of my way to come back here for that coffee, for that latte. But, I mean, it's fine. It's just an ordinary coffee, I think. But I would come here for the food. Food is good. Prices are good. And for the comfort, these tables and these booths. And I was kind of lucky I got here when I did, because this booth was empty. But since I sat down, all the other booths filled up and all the tables filled up. So there's kind of a breakfast rush going on. Yeah, so I would come here for the Wi-Fi, for the pleasant atmosphere, great service. So yeah, recommend this place quite a bit. Anyway, kind to dive into my world of the internet, see if any videos have uploaded at all. Yeah, it hasn't gone up at all. Still 31% and 16%. Nothing has changed. So I think I have to connect my laptop to my phone. Otherwise, I don't think I'm going to get any kind of uploading speed. I'm still here at Zaki and Dicky Cafe. I've had a hot coffee. I've had an iced coffee. And I just ordered lunch. I ordered something called Tongseng Daging, which is some kind of a vegetable beef stew. And I ordered some plain rice to go along with it. Or at least that's what I think I ordered. We'll see what actually ends up on my table. But yeah, I've been here a long time. Long enough to have 2 cups of coffee. Now I'm having lunch. And this whole experiment of using a cafe's Wi-Fi to upload videos is relatively successful, but not really. All kinds of technical problems. Sitting here has been quite interesting because, as I said at the beginning, this is known as sort of a upper scale restaurant in the town of Bangkinan, and a lot of buskers come here. So I've had a steady flow of musicians coming in, mainly young guys with guitars. They come in, there's 2 of them, one guy playing the guitar and singing. Maybe the other, I haven't really watched that carefully because I've been busy here, but I can hear the music, I can hear the singing, and it's been quite good. And then another guy goes around from table to table with a bag and asks for money. So I've learned to have some money sitting out on the table because they just keep coming in a regular rotation. And so yeah, I just pop some money in their bag and then they go. And people from this neighborhood know this restaurant as a good place to beg for money, you know. So we've had a steady stream of quite elderly people coming in, going from table to table, asking for money. And then there have been a whole series of people with some sort of disability, blind people in particular, blind and elderly, and they're being led from table to table by, you know, someone, a friend or family member who can see, and then they bring them from table to table and they're asking for money. So I've I've ended up spending far more money on just the buskers and the people asking for money than I have on my coffee. So yeah, it's quite something to sit here over a length of time. And just as I said that, the food arrived. That's one great thing about this place. The food comes out very quickly, so you have to be prepared for that. When you order, the food will be here, so you better be ready to eat when you order. And here's what the place looks like, in case you forgot. Very empty right now, which is nice. There's no the lunch rush has not started. I'm beating the lunch rush. And here is my Tongseng. It's a lot of like onions, tomatoes, perhaps there's some other veggies in there. And this is the beef Tongseng. And I assume there's some sort of special flavoring or spicing going on here. Whatever makes a Tongseng, I don't really know. And I got some rice to go along with it. Okay, time to dive in. My Tongseng cost 28,000 rupiah. Sounds like a lot, 28,000 of anything, but that works out to a little bit less than $2 US, I think, maybe $1.80 US. And beef anything tends to be the most expensive dish you can order. Chicken is always cheaper. Maybe types of fish, of course, are more expensive, specialty fish, but I'm not a big seafood fan, so I don't know much about fish. But I think beef tends to be pricier than chicken. Seems to be the pattern. But let's see what the flavoring is like. Oddly enough, the table is not covered in spices like sauces and peppers and all the things that people normally add to their food in Asia in general. Okay. A lot of flavor. Spicy, like peppery, like feels like black pepper to me, like the taste is kind of like a black pepper. Could be completely wrong about that, but that's what it tastes like. And sweet, it's actually sweetened. This again, I could be wrong about that, but I think I'm getting a sweetened flavor from this, which is nice. Beef is nice and tender. I can feel the spiciness getting me in the back of the throat. So this little bit of rice will be nice for that. I ended up ordering this because I was looking at their listing on Google Maps. I like doing that because one thing you can do with a Google Maps listing, people post photographs of the food that they've had here. And for some reason, I find those photographs more helpful than the menu. Somehow when they give me the menu for this place, I'm just overwhelmed by the choices. I don't know what to do. But on Google Maps, I look at the photos and I see someone had this meal, the Tongseng Daging, and it looked really good to me. So I just sort of saved that photo, screenshot it, and then I can just show it to them like this. And I see it on the menu. It's sort of a smaller selection to look at. And when I see the food on someone's table, I was like, oh, that's what that is. Now I understand. And that's why I ordered this, because I saw it on Google Maps. And the person said that their Tongseng was really, really good. So they recommended it as a dish to get here. So, yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything else to say. I'm going to dive in and enjoy my lunch. And that's it for my morning and afternoon session at Zaki and Dicky Cafe. Yeah, the Tongseng, I'm sure for the average person out there, I can highly recommend it. It's good beef, great flavor. For me, I was a bit overwhelmed by the spiciness. It was, for me, I don't handle spicy food that well, either in my mouth or in my stomach, so I tend not to be a spicy food guy. I know my limits, and I'm working my way through this Tongseng, and I just got sweat pouring down my face. I drenched my t-shirt in sweat. My throat is on fire, and I'm breathing out like I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's like just having lunch turns into a major workout. I mean, it's so much hard work for me just to get through something that spicy. So it's, I mean, it was tasty and a good lunch, but I don't think I wouldn't order it again myself, because as I said, it's just, yeah, when I'm having lunch, I don't want to have to work quite that hard to eat the food. I mean, this was a challenge for me. It was pretty spicy. So I normally clean off all of my plates. Like when I have something to eat, all my plates are just completely bare. I don't leave anything behind, but I made an exception here where I ate all the veggies and all the beef and everything that was in there, and a lot of the sauce. But then I had to leave some of the sauce behind because I just couldn't finish it. Yeah, I found it to be that spicy. It's Friday today. Hello. I'm fine, thank you. Good. A lot of friendly greetings from that restaurant. Yeah, it's Friday today, and hello. How are you? Good. And I think a lot of people are at the mosque right now for Friday prayers, because the streets are really quiet. Much quieter now than when I walked here this morning. Hello. How are you?